Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, we are going to be taking a look at the latest Digsite release of cut content in pretty much many of the Halo games on MCC. But for this video specifically, we'll be taking a look at Halo 2 and the newly released, unreleased weapons and vehicles that we can now take a look at and in some cases use. So there's quite a few weapons in this release and a couple of vehicles. So we'll be starting with the weapons that you see here. And the first one we'll be taking a look at is called the Disintegrator. This might look a little bit familiar to you. This was actually in one of the Halo 2 early betas, except it didn't look as nice. It was very incomplete. The textures weren't that great, but now we could see it here, completely usable. Even has a cool sound effect to it. And it's a pretty interesting weapon, and it's definitely in a much more complete state now than we saw in a beta. Now, this weapon is very effective against living creatures, but against vehicles, it seems to not have any effect at all. Also, the weapon never overheats. It does run out of energy, but yeah, it never overheats like a Sentinel Beam would. Next up we have here is the Halo 2 version of the Flamethrower. The Flamethrower was first introduced in Halo 1 PC. It was actually a cut weapon in Halo 1 on the Xbox, and it was a campaign version of it. But here we have the Halo 2 version. Now, unfortunately, the version that comes in the Digsite release, exactly as it is not usable. I can spawn it in, but I can't pick it up or use it. In fact, it needs quite a few fixes and changes to it, and they did include a source file so that you could fix it yourself if you wanted to. But for this video, I'm just showing you exactly what we got in the release, and unfortunately the Flamethrower is not usable as it is. Next up we have something called the Satchel Charge. This is basically used for assault game modes. It was, I guess, meant to be used instead of the bomb that we got in the final release. But what's interesting is that I'm playing as an Elite right now. When I picked up the Satchel Charge, it actually turned into a Covenant version of the Satchel Charge, and well, this version is pretty interesting, but it's also kind of interesting that the third-person version, when we pick it up, it changes to this in first person for elites. But yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like. So let me switch to a Spartan now so you could see the Satchel Charge as it is properly in first person. So here it is. So like I said, it's meant to be used for the assault game mode, and I guess it was to replace the bomb. And speaking of the assault game mode, there's also a piece of scenery that's included in the Digsite release as well, which is used for the assault game type. And I'm guessing it's like a base for it. I'm guessing it might be used to plant the bomb or something like that, or maybe not even at all. But this is it. I mean, there's a lot on this map actually, but this is just what it looks like. So maybe at one point it was meant to be used to plant the bomb or to plant the Satchel Charge. But I'm not entirely sure about that, but it was included in the game files, and on this particular map there is several of them as well. Alright, next weapon is the Pike. This may look familiar because in campaign on some missions you actually see certain brutes, the honor guard brutes, using the Pike or holding it. I mean, they don't use it against you, they kind of just toss it away and then switch to like an actual weapon, and most of the time you just only see it in cutscenes. But in this Digsite release, there is a usable version of the Pike. So yeah, that's what it is. Those are pretty much all the weapons. So let me just show you guys some of the weapons in third person now so you can see them in action. So that was the Disintegrator, and here is the Pike in third person. I've actually done a video on the Pike a while ago, because in the final release of Halo 2, the Pike was a weapon tag, but you had to do a few modifications to it to make it even usable as a weapon. I think I basically just made it like an energy sword or something like that. But here it's just out of the box. It's just usable as a weapon. And this is what it looks like in third person when Master Chief uses it. So there you guys have it. Those are all the weapons included in this release. There's actually a lot more cut weapons included in Halo 2, but I've covered those in previous videos for the previous releases. So this one is just covering the most recent releases from the Digsite team. So next up we have vehicles. The first vehicle here is called a Long Vis Phantom. I'm not entirely sure what's special or different about this version of the Phantom other than the name Long Vis Phantom. It's looks just like a regular Phantom to me. I'm not sure there's anything different about it. I mean, off the top of my head, it looks like the final version, but it's yeah, it's included in the tags from the Digsite release. This next vehicle, though, this is a prototype Rocket Hog. We never Rocket Hog was actually first introduced in Halo 1 PC only, and we never got one in Halo 2, but then we got a Rocket Hog again in Halo Reach. So it was a while before we got a Rocket Hog again, but apparently Halo 2 had a prototype version that fired 2 rockets at a time. Now, in this release, I could spam the mouse click to like just rapid fire the Rocket Hog turret. So if you were to actually use this in gameplay, like in an actual match, the Rocket Hog would definitely be very OP. Simply because of the fact that you could spam the rockets and it never like overheats or anything like that. Even in Halo 1 PC, that Rocket Hog, you had to reload the rockets. But this one, there's no like delay at all when you like spam the fire button. Alright, so that about wraps it up for this video. Those are all the major newly released unreleased weapons and vehicles that were included in the recent Digsite release for Halo 2. Hopefully, guys found this video to be interesting. If you did, and as always, make sure to leave a like. Leave your thoughts in the comments. You know, which weapon do you think looks the coolest, or what do you think some of the other vehicles do? But aside from that, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.